I hate the way politics or whatever the situation is affects football in a negative manner. I truly I do not like it. And that is what we are seeing right now with Italian football. For the love of God, I just made a video about Andrea Pirlo becoming the new manager of Italy. And for the fact that some people did not like it, but because Paolo Maldini was there present, everybody trusted in Maldini. 16 days, that's how long it took for Italy's ground rebuild to blow up in its own federation's face. Paolo Maldini. I apologize for butchering his name first. The man brought in to fix Italian football. He just quit live in the middle of a federation meeting. And the real reason is a lot messier than they picked the wrong coach. It's a lot messier than that. Let me back up for a second, because context matters here. Italy missed the World Cup again, the third consecutive tournament. Sweden in 18, North Macedonia in 2022, and this time Bosnia and Herzegovina. I hope that's how you pronounce it right. I apologize, guys. On penalties. Back in March. 4-time world champions, and now the first ones in history to miss 3 World Cups in a row. That result took out basically the entire leadership. Gereno Gattuso resigned as head coach within days. The FIGC president Gabriele Garvina walked. So did Gianluigi Buffon, who was running the delegation. The whole thing collapsed at once. In came Giovanni Malagò, the guy who ran Milan Corinthians Olympics. As the new federation president, he came in. It was absolutely announced, and it gave people hope. And one of his first moves was hiring 2 AC Milan legends to fix this mess. Paolo Maldini as a technical director and Leonardo alongside him as a special advisor. Appointed July 11th. Handed the mandate that was supposed to run all the way to 2030 World Cup. That's the setup. Now, here's where things get really messy. Maldini and Leonardo had a shortlist of 4 names: Roberto Mancini, Andrea Pirlo, Ancelotti, and Pep Guardiola. Ancelotti said no, staying with Brazil. He's going to fix his commitment and get it right for Brazil. Guardiola was a real target though. However, they do not have the money to pay Guardiola what he wants. They flew to Barcelona to pitch him directly on their whole vision for Italian football. Took him almost a week to decide. In the end, he said no to. Reportedly, want to prioritize family time after a decade at Manchester City. I can't blame him for that. That's absolutely brilliant in my mind. So with 2 of the biggest names gone, the federation moved fast and landed on Andrea Pirlo, their old teammate, 2006 World Cup winner for Italy. Currently coaching Dubai United FC. Reported terms were 4 years, around 1.5 million a season. A bargain next to what Guardiola and Ancelotti would have cost. On paper, it made sense. And then it all fell apart in about 48 hours. Everything just crumbled in front of our eyes. It's absolutely insane. And here's the issue that nobody has flagged early enough. Pirlo is a global ambassador for a restaurant betting company called Fonbet. I just made a video about this not too long ago. I made a video about it. So if you want to absolutely get the backdrop of why this gambling situation is a problem, please resort back to the video I just made 2 days ago. But what we just saw now is the veto and the walkout. And that is what we are going to be talking about. So here's the sequence that people are not going to get wrong probably. This wasn't Andres Pirlo quiet bowing out. It was the President Malagò himself who killed it. Sunday, the federation decided talks with Pirlo, Maldini and Leonardo's guy, do not move forward. Too much political heat over the Russian ties. That is why they did not choose Pirlo. Pirlo found out and posted his own statement on Monday morning. He said, good gracious, this is so mind-blowing. I don't even understand how to these two together. He would only been told the night before and pushed back on the idea that any of this was political. But the real story is what happened next. Maldini and Leonardo resignation broke live in the middle of the federal meeting, with the FIGC leadership sitting across from Serie A, Serie B and the Players Union. You could not script this in a more public way for this to blow up. You couldn't. Hollywood cannot write this up. And here's the part what's sitting with. Reports are saying that Malagò had promised Maldini full control over picking the coach. So discretion to Maldini, not Leonardo, but to Maldini. Leonardo was his special advisor. And this, by the way, is all agenda. I'm just bringing you guys what I've gathered based on the reports. I'm not saying I was a fly in the wall. I'm just basically looking at what was reported and putting two and two together and breaking it out for you guys. This was reportedly the one condition Maldini set before even taking the job. The president overruling that decision, that call to break the agreement, full stop. He said this, it was his only thing. I need full discretion in choosing the coach. And when you vetoed that decision, you broke the agreement. If that sounds familiar, it should. Because Maldini did exact same thing in AC Milan in 2023. The second his authority there got restricted, he was gone. This is a pattern, not a one-off. Maldini sets the authority. He sets what he wants to come and do the job. If you take that authority away or restrict that authority, he leaves. It is simple. I've literally told you guys this thing. I've been reading the autobiography of Sir Alex Ferguson. If the man on top doesn't have the authority to make decisions and to do the thing that he thinks is right for the club, you let the inmates run the asylum. That is what it does. That right, what he does. And that is what we are seeing yet again. Here's where I land on this particular one. Malagò wasn't wrong to worry about the Fonbet upsticks. I understand that. That's real. That's a defensible call, given the politics involved. But you do not hire two guys, hand them the mandate to run the technical side, and then override one guaranteed power on the first real decision. You don't do that. Either give them authority or don't hire them in the first place. However, what mentioning too is that Correra del Sera, I believe that's how you pronounce the name, has started asking about conflict of interest here. Both Pirlo and Maldini have sons working on the agent side of the game, but nothing has been proven. But it's the kind of detail that makes you wonder how much of this was really about football after all. That is what I'm asking. That right there is my focus in this situation. So the question now is, what next? So where does this leave Italy? Where does this leave Azzurri? Thiago Motta completely out of the conversation now. Roberto Mancini, has become Malagò's own top choice. Reportedly, the guy he wanted from the start. Antonio Conte is still in it too. Backed by Lega Serie. You get me? Serie A. Backed by them. And Maldini's old seat now might be going to Chiellini. I don't understand. I do not understand. I understand putting old players or putting old superstars or putting football players. I understand that. But what is going to be different? What in the world is going to be different? The Nations League kicks off in September 25th against Belgium. Whoever is in charge by then inherits a federation that has literally eaten itself twice in 4 months. If you want me on the 2nd, there's an announcement about this situation. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notification. This one is moving really fast. So drop your pick below. Do you want Mancini or you want Antonio Conte? Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.